Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. Now that the mainstream media can no longer go after Bill Cosby and demonize his image, it's looking like they're trying to target Denzel Washington and make him the new Brute of the Month. Now, this campaign against Denzel Washington started with a brief dry run where they tried to spin a narrative as related to an interaction that he had with your NBC News' Katie Couric. Unfortunately, that story did not get much traction, so they had to wind up stopping their campaign to go after Denzel Washington. But now that they have not been able to get their victory as related to Bill Cosby and seeing him winding up die in prison, what they want to do now is shift gears from your Bill Cosby and then try to demonize the image of Denzel Washington. Now, with the Katie Couric campaign being a complete failure, now they are trying to go out here and get your Ellen Pompeo to participate in a campaign to try to malign the image of Denzel Washington by talking about a story that she had an argument with him on the set of Grey's Anatomy. Now, in this story, which I believe is featured in her new upcoming book, she talks about how she had an argument on the set with Denzel Washington because she was directing an actor as related to a scene, and then Denzel Washington came in and checked her about going out here and trying to direct actors on a set. Now, as somebody who has studied the entertainment industry for over 25 years, what your Ellen Pompeo did was extremely disrespectful as related to working on a professional set. Because on a professional set, there are only two people who can go out here and give directions. One is the executive producer, because the executive producer is financing the project, and two is the director, because they are being hired to shoot their vision on screen. And on those sets, their word is law, and you are supposed to respect the authority of that hierarchy. You do not challenge your director on the set, nor do you challenge the executive producer. However, your Ellen Pompeo thought she could go out here and challenge Denzel Washington, the director of that episode, and that is something that is considered a complete violation of the unwritten social rules in Hollywood. However, a white woman going out here and challenging a black man are part of the unwritten social rules of white supremacy here in America, and the main reason why your Ellen Pompeo got in Denzel Washington's face is because she saw a prominent black man who was in a position of authority, and because she saw a prominent black man in a position of power and authority, this is what really upset her, because many of these white leftists out here, they talk a good game about being tolerant, but whenever they are placed in a situation where they have to deal with a black person being in power, this is the thing that upsets them and makes them very angry. And I believe your Ellen Pompeo was extremely angry about being on a set where the executive producer, Chandra Rhimes, was a black woman, and she was now upset that she was being directed by a black man, and that was the thing that made her so angry, because here was a black man chastising her, and this is what made her so angry, to the point where she's sitting there calling this man an MF and fighting with him on the set. And again, that is something that is just not done by a actress or an actor on a set. because it is, again, one of those unwritten social rules that you respect the director when you're on a set because it is his set. However, your Ellen Pompeo was so arrogant to argue with Denzel Washington, she called it her set, but that is, again, is a violation of the unwritten social rules as related to working on a film or TV project, because everybody knows that that set belongs to the executive producer who is financing the project, and the authority is given to the director as related to what goes on working on that set. So your Ellen Pompeo wanted to try to assert some sort of power because she was feeling insecure about being on a set run by black people, and this is why she got so heated, because she wanted to be able to dictate what went on that set. But the reason why that she was so out of control, I believe, is because Shonda Rhimes really did not have enough backbone to check your Ellen Pompeo, because your Ellen Pompeo has been, again, completely out of order on that set, sitting there telling your Shonda Rhimes, who originally wanted to cast Isaiah Washington in the lead role, that she could not have that role, and she wanted Patrick Dempsey to be in that role. And as somebody, again, who studied the entertainment industry, I have to ask, who is Ellen Pompeo to tell an executive producer who she should have on her set? And again, this is where Shonda Rhimes should have checked your Ellen Pompeo and put her in her place, because here you are on somebody's set that they are financing, and you're going to sit there and try to tell them who they should have on their set and who should be the lead actor. No, it is not your choice to decide who is the lead actor. And this woman has been, again, completely out of control and completely unprofessional, because your Shonda Rhimes did not have the backbone or the stones to go out here and let her know whose set that this is. Now, I don't believe your Ellen Pompeo would have gotten out of pocket like this on the set of a production run by a white executive producer or a white director. I know that she would not be pulling this kind of crap with a guy like David Fincher, because a guy like David Fincher would quickly show her the door, because he is very meticulous about how he wants his scenes, and he's very meticulous about how he wants his actors to work in his scenes. And if they don't want to follow his directions, he's the first one to give you a boot. Same thing with Clint Eastwood, who also is very meticulous about the way he has his set, and he makes the rules on that set, and he lets everybody know it. Same thing with Steven Spielberg. I doubt she would be getting in the face of these kinds of directors, but she felt she could get in the face of an Academy Award-winning actor who has 2 Oscars and has multiple films like Antoine Fisher and The Great Debaters under his belt, feature films that Denzel Washington has under his belt. Your little 2-bit soap actress Ellen Pompeo thinks that she knows better than an Academy Award-winning actor with 2 Oscars and multiple critically acclaimed films. And again, that just shows you the arrogance of your white female, and it just shows you how she's just so full of herself. And again, for her to sit there and try to go after this man on this set, again, it just shows how little respect she had for your Denzel Washington, because I know if I were to have a critically acclaimed 2-time Academy Award-winning actor and director working on one of my projects, I would be showing that man respect because he has lots of wisdom and experience. But that did not matter to your racist Ellen Pompeo, because your racist Ellen Pompeo, all she saw was another N-word working on her set, and she has expressed nothing but contempt for all of the black people on that set. And what is really troubling is that your Shonda Rhimes really doesn't go out here and check this white female. who has been completely out of order since day one. Because again, what actress goes out here and tells a executive producer who she wants to work with? No, when you are on a set with an executive producer, you don't have any sway or any say on anything. And again, this whole story just shows how racist your Ellen Pompeo is and how arrogant this woman is, because she's just, again, just shows me that this whole set was completely out of control, because this kind of behavior, this is the kind of behavior that leads to an actress not being able to go out here and work. And now I'm seeing why Katherine Heigl has become a complete fading into obscurity, because if this is the kind of behavior that actresses participated on the set of Grey's Anatomy, then they were not fit to work on any other projects. But this whole campaign is all about trying to demonize the image of Denzel Washington, and it's all about trying to malign his reputation. Now, these same racists in Hollywood, they know that they can no longer use the Me Too movement to go after black men, because most people now see that the Me Too movement is a campaign that was again designed to go after black men. And now that that campaign has practically blown up in the white supremacists' faces, because most of the suspects as related to Me Too have been white instead of black, now they want to go out here and shift gears and approach it from a different direction. And in this different direction, what they want to do is try to regroup by going after another prominent black man like Denzel Washington in an effort to tear him down. So your Denzel Washington is one of the most respected black actors in Hollywood, one of the most respected black directors in Hollywood, and he is somebody with a sterling reputation, because he has a wife that he's been married to for over 30 years, similar to Bill Cosby, and he has a family that is very successful. So what they want to do, now that they can no longer malign the reputation of Bill Cosby and tear him down, is now they're looking to find another black man to go after and tear him down and destroy his reputation. Now, they did a test run with the whole story with Katie Couric, trying to make your Denzel Washington look like a black brute. And now that after that story failed, now they're trying to use this Ellen Pompeo story to try to make Denzel Washington look again like a big, angry black brute. And again, they want to go out here and start the narrative by saying, oh, Denzel Washington is an angry black man. And then after they establish the idea in people's heads, oh, Denzel Washington is an angry black man, then they want to try to transition into trying to make it about sex. And then they're going to try to push the narrative that he is a sexual predator, similar to what they did with Bill Cosby talking about affairs. But most people in new black media see the game being run on your Denzel Washington, and even people in the mainstream media are now questioning this story, which looks like it has backfired overall. And the reason why it has backfired is because most people know who Denzel Washington is, and they realize that this is again another effort to go after your Denzel Washington and try to malign his reputation. Now that they can no longer use the Me Too movement, they're trying new approaches, but the same campaign is here. It's all part of this war on heterosexual black men, and it's all part of this campaign to malign the image and reputation of heterosexual black men, because they don't want you to see a heterosexual black man as a role model. They don't want you to see a heterosexual black man as a success. They don't want you to see a heterosexual black man in any sort of positive light. So what they want to do is go out here and tarnish the reputation of a heterosexual black man. And now that they can no longer go after Bill Cosby. Now that R. Kelly has been convicted, now your mainstream media and the white supremacists that are a part of it, now they're looking for a brand new face to make the image of their black brute and try to malign his image and destroy his reputation in the mainstream media. Now that they can't go after Mr. Cosby, now that R. Kelly is locked up, the media is tired of hearing about Chris Brown. They are looking for new faces, and they're looking for new heterosexual black men to go out here and tear down. So every heterosexual black man out here needs to keep his head on a swivel, because this media machine is always looking for some black man to go after, and that is why every black man has to, again, keep his eyes open, keep his head on a swivel, because they are looking to make you the bad guy of their story. And that's what they're trying to do with Denzel Washington, trying to make him the bad guy of this story. And the real bad guy of this story is your Ellen Pompeo, because based on the unwritten social rules as related to working on a set, again, the two people you show respect to when you are on a set are the executive producer and the director. And if that director tells you what to do in a scene, then you are to do what that director wants in that scene. You don't do what the actor says, because the actor has not been hired to direct. It's just like what I read in Sid Field's screenplay. He said that writers write, actors act, and directors direct. Everybody has their job on a set, and it is not somebody else's job to come in here and do another person's job. And what your Ellen Pompeo did was extremely unprofessional. What she did was extremely disrespectful to a director, and what she was trying to do on that set was basically extremely racist, because what she was trying to do on that set was she saw a black man who was a two-time Oscar winner, a critically acclaimed director, and because she felt powerless about being a white actress on a two-bit soap, she wanted to put this prominent black man in his place, and what she wanted to do is emasculate that black man. And thankfully, your Denzel handled this with class, because this woman showed how little respect she had for such a prominent man, because it really is, your Denzel was really bringing himself down to a lower level, coming down to direct this TV soap, because, again, your Denzel Washington has gone out here, he has starred in multiple critically acclaimed movies, he is a $20 million a picture actor, he can open movies at the box office, and he has, again, 2 Oscars, and he has multiple critically acclaimed films. So him coming down to direct a 2-bit soap is a grand gesture, and this woman had no respect for a man coming down to this level. He didn't have to come down to this level at all, but this woman just thought, oh, I'm going to put this N-word in its place. And what's really troubling is that this woman is married to a black man and thinks she's a very, very tolerant person, but when we listen to this story, we see who the real racist is in the room. And this racist is upset because she's in the presence of black people who have greater status and greater power than she is, and that's the thing that upsets her about being on that set. Because when I look at your Ellen Pompeo, she was really mad that I'm working on a set with a black woman in charge. One, I'm working on a set where black actors are getting more power lead roles and are seen as an equal to me, and that's why she went out here and made it where she wanted to cast Patrick Dempsey in Isaiah Washington's role, because she felt bad about being in a place where black people were actually the ones in power, and it really got on her nerves to the point where she saw Denzel Washington directing an episode, And this made her feel so powerless that she went out here and lashed and tried to passively try to go out here and try to direct this actor to do things passive aggressively, and then segue this into exploding in this rage where she went out here to call Denzel Washington an MF. And she really wanted, I believe, to use that N-word, but she knew that that would get her fired. And the whole thing is, she was mad about the idea of being on a set with black people who had these high status positions of being executive producers and directors and being actors in lead roles. And this is what upset her, because as a white actress, she wanted to be the one elevated to the top, and she saw herself not in that place, because seeing a prominent black actor with that kind of power, that is the thing that really set her off as related to things. And she's trying to tell this story, trying to play, again, the passive-aggressive game of being cute and saying, oh, she had this argument with Denzel Washington, but aggressively, she's taking a shot at Denzel Washington, and the mainstream media is pushing the narrative because they want to go out here and target your Denzel Washington as the next black man they want to tear down. And your Denzel Washington, I'm hoping that he's being a critical thinker and seeing the chess moves on the board, because they are now playing these pawns in order to make more power moves, because what they're doing is they're using the Katie Couric pawn, and they moved her over to I believe, the knight, and that pawn was taken off the board, and now they're looking to move another pawn with this Ellen Pompeo, and they want to make these power moves, and I'm hoping Denzel Washington can see the chess moves, because they're looking to try to play a game where they make him the new brute of the month. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Smith-Storella trilogy, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Cancel Vacation. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a social justice social media mob looking to cancel her in this all-new E-Steam series adventure. Pre-order E-Steam Cancel Vacation on Amazon.com today.